The village of Dombås lies in the Dovre municipality and serves as an administrative centre in the upper Gudbrandsdal, Norway. It lies at an important junction of roads, south leading to the current capital of Norway, Oslo, west via Lesja leading to Åndalsnes on the sea, and north to the old capital, Trondheim. History: 19th century, 1895 at Dombås, where there is a telegraph station, the scene had entirely changed, and fields of waving barley and potatoes greeted the eye. Here, at a height of 2,000 feet above the sea, the crops were not quite ripe, the season being backward. Barley required a few more days of sunshine, and the potatoes were still in bloom. The evenings became cold, and the farmers' faces showed their anxiety. The wind was from the NNW, and for 2 consecutive nights black frost appeared. The potato vines turned black, and the grain crop was seriously injured. After the first frost, everybody was at work in the fields, women and men sheaving the barley, and every available hand digging the potatoes. There was sorrow in many a farmer's heart, for the people were now greatly distressed, and I detected tears on many a mother's cheek during these 2 days. After this sudden cold spell, the weather became cloudy, a violent storm set in, and the ground was covered with 18 inches of wet snow. Though it was only the 20th of September, 20th century, the Dovre line was extended to Dombås in 1913 and Dombås station created. The line was extended onwards to Storen in 1921. 3 years later, the Rama line opened to Åndalsnes. Dombås church was completed in 1939. World War II 1940. During the Norwegian campaign, the Germans recognized this rail, roadway and telegraph junction was strategically significant. For the 13th of April on, the Germans started receiving messages of imminent Allied action in Norway through the port of Åndalsnes. To counter this, the German High Command ordered a takeover of Dombås. The result was that a company of Fallskjermjegere from 1st Battalion of the 1st Regiment, 7th Flieger Division was dropped at Dombås on the 14th of April, intending to cut the rail line. The German company had the misfortune to jump straight onto the 2nd Battalion of Infantry Regiment No. 11 that was bivouacked at Dombås on the way to the front north of Oslo. In the second opposed paratrooper attack in history, only 7 out of 15 Junkers Ju-52s made it back to the base at Fornebu Airport. The rest were lost to Norwegian Colt M29 anti-aircraft machine gun fire, dispersing the paratroopers. Most of the surviving paratroopers were taken prisoner soon after landing. Only a single group of 63 Germans, under the company commander Oberleutnant Herbert Schmidt, managed to avoid capture and sealed off the Gudbrandsdal Valley hold-up in 2 strategically placed farms. Only on the 19th of April did the isolated group of Germans surrender, having been surrounded by far superior Norwegian forces for 5 days. On the 16th of April, the Norwegians brought 2 mortars and several Colt M29 heavy machine guns to bear on Schmidt's men, and from the 18th of April a 40mm Bofors anti-aircraft gun bombarded the German positions from Dombås railway station. On the 19th of April, the paratroopers could no longer stand the bombardment and sent forward the captured Norwegian Major KJs to convey the surrender message. All in all, 150 Fallskjermjegere ended up in Norwegian captivity, being kept in a prisoner of war camp near Kristiansund until released when resistance collapsed in South Norway in early May. 1940, a German Luftwaffe bombing attack on the village's railway areas on the 21st of April resulted in the first American military casualty of World War II. Captain Robert M. Lucy, an aeronautical meteorologist serving as an air attaché to American embassies in the Nordic countries, was killed while observing the bombing near the entrance to a rail tunnel where he and others had sought safety. A monument to Captain Lucy now stands in Dombås. 5 Norwegians were killed by the same bomb as Lucy, and another 18 wounded. 1940, after evacuating Oslo after the German invasion of Norway, King Haakon VII first travelled with his government to Elverum, but after that city and Nyberg soon was bombed by the Luftwaffe, the decision was made to move to the Gudbrandsdal where the Army High Command had relocated. The king's entourage at first got lost and ended up at Dovre on the Swedish border, where they were turned back by Swedish border guards. The king then went first to Huiken and then to Otta. On his way to Otta, the king passed through Dombås on the 13th of April, only 5 hours before the German paratrooper attack took place. On the 14th of April, the king and the crown prince remained at Otta, transmitting radio messages to the people. As the German attack came, the Fallschirmjägers were landing dispersed over a huge area, and the royals decided to spend the night at Dovre, only half an hour from the nearest Germans. Although the Fallschirmjägers never got any nearer the king, who was protected by the local Dovreskagen gun club, they did ambush cabinet minister Frith Hagen, capturing his car and a suitcase with 1.5 million Norwegian kroner. Minister Frith Hagen managed to escape the ambush, and the money was recovered when Oberleutnant Schmidt surrendered the 19th of April. The king eventually made his way to Molde, from where he was brought to Tromsø by HMS Glasgow. Notable residents: Sigurd Einbu, amateur astronomer; Carl Adams KVM, tall; Lars Berger and Tora Berger, famous cross-country skiers; Marcus Cleveland, snowboarder; Ragnar Solberg, poet living on Fox Tour; Anita Kelly, famous animator from Dovre; Eli Hagen, wife of Carl Ivar Hagen; Emil Ulseston, Olympic snowboarder Sochi 2014.